Hi everyone. Now, I have been wondering how to express what I want to say just in the last hour or so, but I do know that I want to say something. So you'll have to bear with me and just go with me for the next few minutes. And if it makes sense to you, then that's cool. And if it doesn't, that's cool too. But to me, there seems to be a lot of fear energy flying around right now. Especially, to me, I felt it a lot on Friday, the 28th, because there was a lot of talk about, it being the end of the world according to the Mayan calendar. And I don't know a lot of things for sure, but I'm pretty sure that Mother Earth is not going anywhere. That yes, we are going through changes, yes, she's shifting, and yes, there are some difficult things happening, but you know, to me, the main message of moments like that is just for all of us to make the most of our lives. That we don't need to go into fear about, a certain date being the end of the world. And as we go into 2012, I know a lot of people are still, talking about that. But to me, it's just a new beginning. And it feels really positive to me. There are lots of opportunities for us to become more of who we are, and sometimes that does involve looking at our fears. And so, that's part of also what I wanted to speak to you about. I know my dear friend and astrologer Mark Husson has given me a lot of insight into that recently because it's Scorpio time. And, maybe it gets a bit of a bad rap, bless Scorpio, but it is that deep, dark place sometimes within us that we need to look at. And, sure, we all have fears, and I'm not saying, if we're afraid of something that we're different. In fact, I think we're all the same in our fears. I don't believe that the world is going to end, but do I believe that we all have fears? Yes, I do. And I think sometimes, especially, in the new age world, we spend a lot of time pushing those fears away or burying them really deep inside because we feel like we shouldn't feel them, or that love and light is what's going to change our lives. And of course, I believe that too. I believe that as much as possible we want to focus on love, but we are human and we have those fears. We have an ego. If we didn't have that, we would not be on the planet. So I really feel passionately about us saying, hey, okay, we have fears, we embrace them, and then we move on. To me, and I found this really apparent in my life in the last 2 weeks when it's been quite quiet for me, and I have had the opportunity to be more inward, to be more reflective, that I found that once I really figured out, oh, this is my fear talking, or this is what I'm afraid of, that I could actually move forward with what I wanted to do. One of those examples is that I've been wanting to manifest a pianist, and maybe other musicians too, but particularly a pianist, so that I can play more locally and share more, sing more, perhaps write some new songs with people. I don't know. But that's one of my passions. I wanted to do that for ages, really, since I did the first album. It's something that makes me feel alive, and yet there's this deep fear in me about meeting whoever these people are. In fact, I've had the opportunity 3 times to be in contact with someone that was possibly a pianist for me, and it was either not working out or they couldn't commit, blah, 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 blah. And sure, I believe that a lot of it comes down to timing and, them not being the right people, but I suddenly thought, what is this? I'm really holding myself back from it. It kind of made me cringe every time I was putting myself out there, asking people about it. And, as much as I was passionate about having a pianist, I also really scared, especially locally. For some reason, I could talk to the president or Oprah far more easily than I could share locally. Don't ask me why that is. I think it has to do with the way that I'm perceived, or I don't know, just the energy that I feel sometimes locally, and you've been here a long time and people have different ideas. I think it's far more scary for me to be out there in a way where I think people have, a past story about me, than people that don't know me at all. It feels really comfortable for me to think of the idea of, talking to people that are huge inspirations to me, even if they're quote unquote seen as famous. It feels a lot easier for me to do that than it does to, publicise myself down the street. Again, we all have different fears, but I'm just sharing mine just to let you know. I suddenly realised that this was what was going on. And so I could actually look at it and say, hey, this is my fear, but you know what? My desire to share, my desire to sing is far greater. And I know I've spoken about this before, but when I get into that place of realising that my fear is there and yet my desire is stronger, then things start to happen. So I believe things are starting to happen for me, and this is why I needed the quiet time. And this may be happening to you too. So the first suggestion I would make to you is to really say, okay, what's going on here? What am I afraid of? We don't maybe do that enough. As I said, we try and distract ourselves from it. But if we can really stare it in the face and say, what is our fear? Then we give it less power. But sometimes there are real gifts in our fears, therefore, because by looking at them, they're showing us what it is that we are still working on in our lives. Or sometimes, especially for me, that fear can give me an inspiration to, talk to more people about these kind of things, or to offer more support to people. I am so fortunate to be surrounded by people who don't judge me, and I was talking about Mark Husson just now, and he's one of them. He's one of the reasons why I love to listen to his shows. Yes, because of the information and all of the detail that he gives about what's going on astrologically, but he is somebody who says, this is what I'm feeling, or this is what's going on. I make no apologies for it. And, just like I was saying, having a difficult time, sometimes I don't need somebody to tell me, oh, you just need to think positively, or, it's going to be okay, or, oh, you shouldn't be focusing on that. Sometimes I just need somebody to say to me, hey, Anna, I hear you, I understand you. Your fear is your fear. It's okay. It matters. Because it does matter. We all matter. We all have emotions. We all have vulnerable times. So if you're going through that, be kind to yourself, acknowledge it, and then you can embrace it and move forward. This is a really powerful time, and we want to honour that deep place in ourselves because it really has something to tell us. In fact, if we don't allow ourselves to go deep, I really believe that we also don't really know what our true passion is. So there's a fine line between fear and passion, right? And because we're passionate about something, our fear wants to talk louder because it doesn't want us to be big. It doesn't want us to always be happy. It wants to keep us small. So if we can understand that, we can also see, okay, this is what is going on for me, and I choose to move forward from it. So just know that I am with you on this journey. The reason why I share these things is because I'm going through it too. This is a great time for us. It's also Halloween, so the veil is thinnest, and even there's some fear about that too. But hey, it's only just because it's perhaps a little mysterious and unseen, and that's just like all of life, that we're not going to know everything that's going to happen, that some of those places are a little challenging, a little scary, but we can live anyway, and we can make the most of the time that we have, because really, that's all we can do. We can only do our best. So I'm sending you lots of love, and I promise you I'm going to be back in touch much quicker than the last time, because I'm coming out of my shell. It seems like I'm coming out of that quiet period and back into more communication. So I'll speak with you very soon. Take care. Bye.